Now tell me, why are you here? Where do you want to go with your hair?
I am here because I've been now in transition from relaxer to no processing whatsoever since November of last year. I am still sort of stuck between the two textures and having to straighten a little bit here and there to get a look that I'm accustomed to having because I have no idea where I want to go in terms of the look. I do tend to like big hair, a little bit of fullness and such, and I don't know how to achieve that, and no one has been able to tell me thus far, so I'm hoping you can.
Okay, all right. I think transitioning again is difficult because you're working with something unfamiliar. Most of us have not worked with our own hair. Our parents, when we were kids, worked with our own hair. So it might have been 20, 30 years in some cases. All their lives they got a perm when they were 10, and now they're 30. So it's been 20 years. They're unfamiliar. It's unfamiliar territory. It's the unknown. It's going into a dark room and trying to figure out where the light switch is. My job, the job that I love doing, is showing them how to turn on the light. And you said that you flat ironed your hair.
I did to go out the other night, yes.
I see that, I see. Now let me just say, you have a lot of density. That means there's a lot of follicles in a little space, which is great. I can't tell your texture because you flat ironed it, so we won't be able to, to talk about texture very much because the heat manipulated it. Sure. But I can tell you for one thing, by you putting heat on your hair the way you did, you're kind of moving away from the virgin texture that you're trying to achieve.
Okay.
So I would ask you not to put any more heat on your hair because you can damage the hair just by flat ironing it one time.
Wow.
And it will not revert back, which means we have to trim and cut it and remove it, and it's kind of like you're starting over. The whole thing about transitioning is that you become acquainted with your natural hair. So by you using a flat iron or a keratin conditioner or blowing it out too straight, how are you going to recognize your natural hair? How are you going to learn to manipulate it if you wear it straight? People feel like they can go back and forth. Like one day I want straight and the next day I want to go wavy curly. Generally, most people can't do that.
Okay. Not realistic.
It's not realistic.
Okay.
Particularly if you really want healthy, natural hair, you really just have to commit to that. I would suggest for you, if the next time you get that feeling like you want to go natural, you want to go straight,
right,
just get a wig.
Really?
The wig is the new accessory.
I've never done a wig.
For natural girls, a wig is a nice accessory to have so that when you're going out that night and you just want to look a little different or you want to add a little snap to your thing, you can do the wig. And we also, can cut and shape that for you as well. But there are so many options with wigs without damaging your hair. So
I like that word, options.
Options, yeah, that's what we want to give you, some options. Talk to me about your hair. How often are you shampooing it now?
This is honestly 3 weeks. I haven't touched it.
Okay, so you mean 3 weeks ago you
washed it? No, honestly, I flat ironed it.
You flat ironed it without washing it? Oh, that's not good. Bad girl, bad girl. Okay, the damage is done, but I want you to be prepared that when we go into that sink area and we shampoo it, that some of it, you think you just have a little bit of relaxer on it, you might have some heat damage as well. That's going to change how we focus on your hair. Where do you want to go again? Do you like volume? Is it okay if we add extension to it? Tell me where you feel comfortable.
In general, honestly, like the words weave and extension and stuff, they make me a little nervous.
Why is that?
I don't really care for them.
Because you've seen so many bad ones.
That's very true. Yes.
You've seen so many bad ones. And the good ones you don't know because you think it's their hair.
And I like to be able to sort of just run my fingers through my hair when I get ready. And I don't have a problem with people touching my hair. I'm never the one, don't touch me, or sleeping like this because you want your hair to stay perfect.
Right.
That's not
so
me.
Your hair doesn't have to be pristine and neat and coiffed.
No, I do try to create a polished look in general, but I don't mind it being open. I don't mind it being funky.
Do you go to the gym? Or tell me about your lifestyle.
Lifestyle in general, I probably work too much. I don't go to the gym as much as I should. I do a lot of volunteer work, things of that nature. So On any given moment, I need to just be able to get up and do something to it. I'll pin curl the night before, comb it out, and go.
Right.
I haven't done just a straight wash and wear. I don't know what that would look like. I'm not sure I would even like it.
Okay, let me just tell you about this wash and wear
Notion.
Fantasy that most people have. Most people cannot just wash and go.
Good, okay.
That's an illusion. You know, even people with the softest wave patterns have to do something to prep the wave.
Right.
So therefore, that means something has to be done, even if it's just putting oil and running your fingers through it. So, you know, the notion that we, or women with textured, really tight textured hair can just wash and go is more fantasy than real. And you don't have to try to reach that bar because that bar is an illusion.
I have no idea what bar. Admittedly, this has just been somewhat of, it didn't start out as a whim. It was, my hair needs a break. I'd been relaxing for almost 30 years and I was tired of it. So I decided, okay, I'm not going to do it for a little while. Then it became an experiment. I said, well, let's see how long I could last without it. And then it was a full-on challenge. My hair will not defeat me. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm not going back.
You know, our culture has a definition of what is beautiful and what is aesthetic. And you see it on commercials, you see it throughout our lives, and we've been affirmed and reinforced by those images. Now you're stepping into another zone. It is unfamiliar. It is scary.
Yeah.
How am I going to be perceived? Am I still going to keep my job? How are my parents going to see me? How is my husband going to see me? My kids? That whole thing kind of floods through your mind. Yeah. And I'm saying to you, is once you embrace it totally and fully, everything comes in place.
Amen to that.
Yeah, it all comes together once you're fully evolved in it and committed to it. So that's why you're here,
yes.
And I'm glad I can help you.
Thank you, yay.
All right. The style that I'm doing now, some people wear their hair twisted and set for weeks and then open it. This will last 6 weeks. If you don't take this out, this will last you. So I opened them up and now I'm opening up the twist, not combing it too much, but just the base of it. We moved it around, we switched it. If we wanted to, we could switch it around some more. And actually, your hair is actually long. And as it gets older, it's gonna extend more and puff up more. I just kind of patted it down and you'll live with it for tonight. And tomorrow when you wake up, you know, you might find another silhouette that you like.